Rachel Tidd from Dynamic Golf, and today I'm going to be talking about posture and how important it is for your golf swing. Okay, so posture is really important in terms of setting up into the golf ball, and it's really important that you maintain that posture throughout your golf swing, and not only just to be consistent, but also maintaining that posture can allow you to create more speed and power, and then obviously get a little bit more distance. Okay, so there's a number of different reasons why people demonstrate poor posture. One of the most common reasons is just due to our day-to-day lifestyles and jobs. So a lot of people are sat down at desks quite often and kind of in a rounded position, sat at the computer all day. They might be sat in the car driving all day. They might get home and have the tea, and start eating the tea. Then we sit down and watch television, and then we go to bed and sleep like this. Okay, so we spend a lot of time in this kind of position, and that's going to have some impact over a period of time. So muscles into his chest get a little bit tight, we get a little bit rounded into the shoulders, and once we get into the golf and we start playing golf, we're going to struggle to get some rotation there. Okay, so that's going to impact that. Other issues, we can have postural into the lower back, so sat on his bottoms all day, we're not actually working that muscle, but it begins to get a little bit weaker, we get a little bit tight in the hips, and we get a little bit of a curving into the lower back. So as golfers, that can impact again, rotation of the lower body, sequencing of the downswing, but it can also give you a little bit of lower back pain as well. Okay, so what we want to try and do is reverse those daily positions and try and improve that posture so we can improve your golf as well. Okay, so if you are struggling with rounded shoulders a little bit, be a little bit more conscious when you're sat at your desk. Try and pull that chest out, engage them shoulder blades, squeeze them together, and try and just be more aware of that, kind of walking around, sat at your desk. But there are other exercises that you can do in the gym that can help that as well. Okay, so if you're a little bit rounded in the shoulders, we want to stretch out the chest a little bit. So a great exercise for that is just a chest stretch. You can do this in a door frame. If you have a flexibility ball at home or in the gym, you can use that also. So all you're going to do is you're just going to lay your forearm onto the ball, and then you're just going to push your chest downwards. Okay, so you're going to get a nice stretch into that chest. Okay, sometimes that gets a little bit tight. I'd hold that for a good 10-12 seconds, and I'd just swap sides. Okay, so that's really good, just for opening up that chest and stretching that out. Okay, and getting to good posture. Okay, another good exercise, if you're a little bit rounded into the shoulders, is foam roll into the upper back a little bit. So you can have. So when the shoulder's a little bit rounded, what happens is these back muscles get a little bit weaker. Okay, and we need to get using them and strengthen them. The upper traps, so the muscles up here into the neck and top of the shoulders, they can get a little bit tight, but the muscles into the mid-back and into the shoulder blades, they get a little bit weak. Okay, so we need to make sure that we start using those muscles because they've lengthened a little bit. We need to just strengthen them a little bit and get them working a little bit more, and they can obviously help the position of the spine in the top of the back. So another great exercise with this ball, that you can use with the ball, is what we call eyes and tees. Okay, so if you can do this if you're at home, you don't have access to a gym or any equipment, you can do this on the end of the bed. You can even do it on the floor. I like to use a stability ball again, just gives another emphasis on controlling that ball in that body position. So all you're going to do is you're just going to raise your arms up like an eye and back down. Okay, so you should feel the muscles in the upper back, just raising them arms up. Okay, again, I would repeat 10 times, 10 reps, 3 sets. Okay, and then the next is just a T. Okay, so again, we're just raising them arms up, making a T shape. Again, you should feel the movement from within the shoulder blades, not up into the shoulders or down into kind of under the round where the lats are. Okay, just squeeze them together. Again, 10 reps, 3 sets each, and then what I would do is I just progress that to 12, 15, and then once that gets a little bit easier, just put a couple of light dumbbells, a couple of 2-kilogram dumbbells in there just to make that a little bit harder. Okay, so if them exercises, you've been doing them for a while and starting to feel a little bit easier, what I would then do is kind of do some strength exercise as well, and you can start off just by using your body weight. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some inverted rows. The inverted rows are a really good exercise. Again, just get them shoulder blades engaged, get the chest open, a really good pulling action. Okay, so difficult to do at home. You can use, some people use Some people use a brush in between two chairs, make sure it's quite sturdy without a little snap. If you're in the gym, you can use a barbell, TRX, anything that you can just pull yourself up. So generally in the gym I would start with the bar about waist height. You can go a little bit higher if you're new to this and you don't feel that you're strong enough. The higher and the more vertical your body is, the easier it will be. And then I would just progress it just to kind of this height. So all you need to do is you're just going to get underneath the bar. Again, if it feels a little bit tough to begin with, make sure your feet are flat, nice engaged glutes and abs, so you've got a nice straight stable body. And you're just going to run your body into that bar. Okay, make sure that the bar meets your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades and just control it back down. Good. Okay, that's it. So again, try and build up to a good 8 to 10 of them. It's all about the quality of the movement. Yeah. Once that bar starts getting further and further away from your chest, and that's when I would stop and make sure that you're engaging them shoulder blades. Okay. So there's 3 really good exercises to stretch. Start activating the muscles in your back and then starting to strengthen them. Yeah. So that's going to help with that posture and get you into get rid of those rounded shoulders and get that chest out. So that's going to help with your rotation in your golf swing. Okay, so there are a few tips for anybody who's experiencing kind of like rounded shoulders and tight at the back, struggling to rotate there. As I said previously, some people struggle with the posture in the lower back. So what we generally look for there is what we call like an S posture, like a little bit of an arch into the lower back. Again, if you feel that you demonstrate this kind of posture and you get a little twinges in your lower back or it feels a little bit stiff, that's just because the amount of pressure that's being put on that lower back. Okay. Generally, again, that's due to a muscle imbalance. So the glutes, so the buttocks are generally a little bit weaker. They're not being used as much as they should be, and you're maybe a little bit tight into your hip flexors, which is kind of pulling you into that position. So what we want to do is kind of like open up the hips again. Yeah, get the glutes working so that they can actually work to stabilise that lower back. Okay, so you're less likely to be using that in your golf swing. Okay, when you're rotating. Okay. So a great exercise just to stretch out the hip flex a little bit. It's just a nice hip flexor stretch. Okay, so what you want to do is you just want to kneel down. Okay, make sure your back's nice and straight. And you're just going to push your hip forward. Okay, so you're going to get, I'll just show you on the side. You're just going to push your hip forward so you get a nice little stretch into there. Okay, and just to increase that stretch a little bit, you just come over across with your arm. Okay, you should get a nice little stretch into there. Okay. Again, I just hold that for a good 20 to 30 seconds. Maybe do that before your gym session or even before you go out and play. Okay. Okay, so that's a great exercise for stretching out the hip flexors. Another thing we need to do is we need to get using the glute muscles. Okay, so they might be a little bit lazy, might start to go to sleep a little bit. Good exercise we do is kind of like single leg bridges, but with the use of a ball. Okay, so you can use a ball, tennis ball, apple, anything round that you're just going to be able to pop into your hip. Okay, and the reason that we use this ball is to stop you from using that lower back, which currently you're tending to do. You're into kind of like extension in the lower back, and that lower back's working far harder than it needs to. Okay, so what you're going to do is lying down, you're just going to take the ball and pop it into with the other foot, just make sure it's a little bit closer towards your bottom. Okay, you're just going to put your arms out to the side, and you're just going to push up and raise up. Okay, so you push through that heel, yeah, make sure that that knee is still into your chest, keep that ball squeezed in tight, and just lower down. Okay, so 10 on that side, take the ball, stop over, okay, again, push up, down, okay, again repeat. So you should feel it into this buttock here, that should be what's doing the work. If you start to feel a little bit of a pull into your hamstring, or it kind of spasms a little bit, or you get a little bit of cramp, yeah, what I would do is your foot's probably a little bit too far out and just bring that into your bottom. Okay. That's a great exercise for isolating the glute, make sure it's starting to do a little bit of exercise. Also stretching out the hip flexors, okay, so we've done that little hip flexor stretch, but that will help, but that will also help stretch out the hip flexors as well, to get into that position that ideally we want, okay, without the arch back, okay. So just another exercise that's just going to help with that is what we call a dead bug. It's one of my favourite exercises, and this is great for developing the strength and control of the abdominals. So these get a little bit weakened too, okay? So if everything, the glutes are a little bit weak, the arms are kind of stretched out, okay? They're not doing too much. We want to get them a little bit stronger, turn them on, so they're just going to tilt that pelvis up forward, okay? So the dead bug's a great exercise to do that, okay? So again, you're going to be lying on the floor for this one, okay? It's called a dead bug because we start out looking like a dead bug. So I'm just demonstrate this one, so just on the back, on your floor. The main important key thing to remember with this is that your lower back stays in contact with the floor at all times, okay? So if you feel a little bit of a gap, yeah, and you can run your hands under there, you need to tilt your pelvis up and push your back into the floor. If that feels a little bit unnatural, a little bit weird, yeah, what I would do is just think about tilting your belt buckle up towards you, like pull it up towards you, yeah? You should feel them abdominal muscles engage, okay? So we're just going to start in a dead bug position, okay? Now all we're going to do is we're just going to extend opposite arms and legs, okay? While we keep that lower back down on the floor, so, okay? So if it starts to come up, yeah, push it back in. If you're struggling to keep it in, just go as low as you feel comfortable, okay? And you're just going to extend opposite arms and legs, keeping that in. So you're really going to feel the abdominals really working to control that lower back. If that feels a little bit difficult to begin with, what I would do is I would just start by keeping the legs up and just extending separate, one arm at a time, okay? Then keep the arms up and extend the leg at a time, and then incorporate the opposite arm and opposite leg, okay? Just as that begins to get easier, okay? So there's a few examples there of some exercises that can help you, whether you're rounded into your shoulders or whether you're struggling, okay, with that stabilising and with that arch in your lower back, okay? So try these out at the gym. If you'd like any more information about posture and how it can affect your golf, check out my recent blog on my website, www.dynamicgolf.com.